Is that your boundary? Do you not do anal?
No, my butthole's way too tight. I've tried.
That's offensive.
So you're stuck in like a unit with people who you can't speak English to.
I literally go from like paying someone's rent, buying someone a new phone, to like, y'all want an ant farm? Like, that's my brand.
Fox News saw that I was in New York and I posted on Instagram. They literally emailed me for all the rights to it. I went viral. It was on every news station out there.
Well, hello. We're going to bang this one out. You'll see why that's funny later. My name's Adelia /DEELZ, and we're on the podcast That's Offensive, where people get offended by the shit we do. And this girl right here, Pati,
Hi.
I think what she does offends a lot of fucking people.
It's definitely out there. I definitely put myself out there, and I'm excited to share it with you.
I'm so excited. So tell me about your slogan and why it's so important with your brand.
Ooh, okay. So my name is Pati K, and I swing on and off the golf course. So my background is in golf. I moved to Miami on a golf scholarship, and that's like my hobby, my passion. And then I started to move on to like the more sexy stuff, and I became a swinger. So, yeah, me and my partner have been swinging for the last 3 years, and it's amazing. I love it.
So, you have gangbanged, done a lot of different stuff. How did you originally get into this?
Okay, so I've always been, like, freaky. I always loved watching gangbang porns, orgies, like a lot of people, a lot of different action happening at the same time. That was always my speed. Every time I would get off, that's what I would watch. And then it started off with like, man, I wish I could have like a threesome with 2 guys. Arranged that, loved it, and I wanted more.
Yeah.
But I was not really familiar with how to do it. I just always, it was like a fantasy of mine. And then I met my partner 3 years ago on Tinder, and like the first thing he says is like, I just want to let you know that I'm a swinger. I like to watch people fuck, and I like people watching me fuck. And I was like, bruh, this is like, thank you God for sending me this man. And he like would show me some videos of like the gangbangs he's done, and I'm like, yo, I literally got off to those videos that he sent me. I'm like, this is my shit. I love it. And then so we started talking. He's like, well, I'm doing a gangbang with this hot MILF, like on the weekend. Like, do you want to come watch and see how it goes? And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to watch. Like, I've never seen one live. I've never been around people that have done that. So like, yeah, I'm super curious. And so we get to the hotel room. We usually do it in hotel rooms. And there was like this hot, like, she was actually a Patriots cheerleader back in the day. So she was super hot, like flimsy, like, and I just started making out with her, and she's like, do you want to join? And I literally only went there to watch. And she's like, join me, like, I love your vibe, we're gonna have so much fun. And she starts undressing me, and then like the guys start like coming towards us and like getting into formation. And I'm literally like, holy fuck, I'm about to fuck 5 guys. And it fucking happened. And I was so turned on. I took dicks that I never thought I could, like huge motherfuckers.
Really?
And I was squirting everywhere, and I'm like, this is my life. Like, this is something I would love to do all the time. And that's where it started. After that, my partner, he brought me like 3 guys to like have sex with, and then we started organizing orgies. Even bringing like some of my like OnlyFans friends, like the girls that do OnlyFans with me. I brought my friend Rory Rain to a gangbang, and it was the same deal where she was like, no, like, I'm so intimidated. Like, I just want to watch.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you can watch. Like, I'm not trying to force you to do anything. Like, maybe suck a dick or 2 to just, like, keep them hard for me. And she's like, yeah, I can do that. And so we started, like, getting down to it. And she, like, was sucking a dick. And she saw this one huge guy. She's like, I want that one. And she just starts fucking, and then all the guys come closer, and we were just doing a gangbang together. And like, she was super nervous, and I'm like, I was happy to be her first experience, you know?
Yeah.
She knew me, she knew my partner, so everything went really smoothly, and we had a great time. It's fun, like, even just like after it's done, you're just laying there, you're like, whoa, I just did that. Like,
Yeah.
I just had the best sexual experience of my life. And yeah, that's me. That's what I love to do.
So I'm going to play a little game of Would You Rather, swinging edition or orgy edition, whatever floats your boat. But would you rather be in an all-girl orgy or an all-boy, not boys, I mean men orgy?
I love guys. I love sucking dick.
Okay.
Like, I've gotten so many fucking compliments on my dick sucking skills. So, like, I really enjoy dick. So I would prefer like having a bunch of dicks around me than having a bunch of girls. But I still love girls, but definitely an all guy like gangbang is my shit.
So you played golf before you started all of this, and you lived like a pretty like normal person life before all of this started.
Yeah.
So explain your background.
Oh my God. So I come from a very like conservative, religious European family. I'm Polish by background. Both of my parents are Polish. And, you know, I was the angel child. My brother was the one always getting in trouble. And my parents always looked to me to be like the sane, okay one, doing the right decisions. And I got put into golf. At age 15, I got a scholarship to a school in Miami at age 17. Moved all the way from Canada to Miami alone. And I was playing golf on a team. I was, you know, like doing that part of my life. But also coming to Miami, such a big party scene, I started to get exposed to like different people, different situations. And actually, my first time ever getting picked up by a swinger couple was when I moved to Miami.
Okay.
I was 18, so fucking confused on why this couple wanted me to come home with them so bad. I'm like, what are we gonna do at your house? I don't get it. Like, I was super innocent back then. So innocent. And then at a tournament, I broke my hand, and that ended my golfing career.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, because for the last 4 years, I was constantly, or 3 years, I was constantly training, missing out on parties, missing out on stuff with friends, just because that was my life.
Yeah.
And I decided to switch majors because I thought, I'm like, I need something new. Didn't like that, and I needed to find myself. So I took a year off school, and I started growing my social media. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I want to be an Instagram like influencer. I'm going to start growing my followers. So I started growing my Instagram. I was really popping on Snapchat actually when it was lit back in the day. And people kept asking me, they're like, you should do a premium Snapchat. You should do a premium Snapchat. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, this is my Snapchat. They're like, no, it's one where you get like naked and guys pay to watch you. And I'm like, fuck no. I'm never gonna let anyone see me naked unless they're my husband or my boyfriend. Because I grew up in very like I said, religious, conservative family. That's was in my head. And as I started like growing my following, I started getting attention from celebrities. And that was the first time ever, like, I had fucking, I wish I could say their name, but I had a celebrity reach out to me, and we were, like, talking all the time, and then it went to sexting, and he's like, yo, like, send me a little video of you, like, taking your clothes off and stuff like that. And I didn't want him to stop talking to me. I'm like, okay, fine, like, he's not gonna leak it, he's a celebrity, like, he's not gonna do anything with it. So that's when I started, like, getting more comfortable with myself. That's when I first started buying toys, like sex toys for this celebrity. And I'm like, if I'm doing it for this guy, like, and I still have all these people asking me for a premium Snapchat, like, might as well just fucking do it. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to sell my premium Snapchat for $150, and whoever wants to pay that, because that's expensive for a premium Snapchat, I'm like, whoever pays that, well, they get to see my titties.
Yeah. Explain kind of premium Snapchat, because it's way different than OnlyFans, right?
Yeah. So this was like before OnlyFans was a big thing. Pretty much is a second Snapchat account. It's a private account. You add people to it, and you upload stories, like just like a normal Snapchat, but depending on how far you go on your premium. Like I started off with just nudes, like just pictures and like little cute videos, and then I started doing toy stuff, and then when I met my partner, that's when I started posting like the crazy like gangbangs, orgies, threesomes, and all that on there.
So did they pay for like every piece of content, or did they pay one?
It was a one-time fee, just because I didn't like have because I had a lot of people come in. Like I didn't know how many people wanted to see me until I advertised it. Like within my first week, I made $10K.
Really?
Off of just premium Snapchat, yeah. So like, there's a lot of girls that were doing monthly things. I'm like, that's too much to keep up. I'm just gonna do the one-time fee, and they never have to pay again. And it was great. It was fun. And it made me feel comfortable, because I'm like, well, see, it's only there for 24 hours and then it's gone.
Yeah.
So that like made me feel really comfortable. But me being naive, I didn't know that there are like apps that let you record stories without letting like the creators know that you're getting recorded. And all of my hardcore shit was leaked because someone like screen recorded everything. And that's when I'm like, man, I have no protection on Snapchat. And that's why I moved to OnlyFans, because it says like, when you put a video on OnlyFans, it has your username in the corner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's protection. They're going to help me take it down. And that's how I did the transition from premium to OnlyFans.
Got it. So did you have any corporate jobs before you started OnlyFans?
I tried a lot of different things. Growing up, my parents didn't really let me have a job because my job was golf. It was 24/7, like on the course, practicing. So when I moved to Miami and I got injured, I worked at a hospital, doing events at a hospital. I worked at a law firm. I worked at a restaurant, and I worked as like an event, like staffing agency. So I was one of the models there.
Okay. Do you think like golfing was something you wanted to do, or something like your parents wanted you to do?
That's like a hard question, because I love golf, but for sure it was something they were driving me to do it. Like I love it, but I wouldn't have taken it as far as I did if it wasn't for them. I still play to this day, and now like looking back, I wish I never got injured. I wish I did like more. I played on the LPGA. I wish it went that way.
Yeah.
But I'm here and I'm still loving my life.
Yeah. So you got into swinging because of
my partner.
Your partner, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So how has that evolved?
I mean, everyone always asks me, like, how do you not like get jealous? How can you see your man be with another girl? And this is what I love educating people on swinging, and I tell them everyone gets jealous because everyone has fucking feelings. If you don't get jealous, you don't have feelings.
Yeah.
But it's all about the way you communicate with your partner. So when we first started off swinging, my communication skills were like shit. Like I was always scared to voice my concerns. I was always like a people pleaser. So even if I didn't want to do something, I would still do it just because I wanted to make them happy.
Yeah.
But swinging has made me be a lot more communicative with what my needs are. Mm-hmm. And like it taught me to stand my ground too, which is what you need in a situation like that with many different people around. Like you can't just go with the flow because it ruins the vibe. You know what I mean? You don't want to have a shitty experience. Mm-hmm. So swinging has definitely evolved in regards to like my communication with my partner. And setting boundaries is also really, really important.
Yeah.
Before, like when we were first like dating and starting out, like it was very up in the air. We didn't have clear cut rules. But as like stuff happened, for example, I did like 3 guys and me. And after we were done, he's like, okay, I'm going to go walk them to their car. And he just like left for half an hour talking with his friends that he had. And I'm like, no, I didn't appreciate you just leaving right after. Like, I need you to cuddle me after, like hug me so I can feel that like connection. So that inspired us to do like our 10 swinging commandments. So we have boundaries. So for example, always using protection. That was one big thing. Making sure like we're aware of who we're talking to, because he was always talking to so many girls at the beginning. This is when we were just like dating. And I started getting jealous. I'm like, you're talking to all these girls right in front of me. So when we were together, we weren't allowed to text other girls or other guys. And another one of our rules, like we had to record everything we do so the other one could always enjoy. Because there were times where we wouldn't swing together. Like he would go fuck a girl that he wanted to fuck, and then I would fuck a guy that I wanted to fuck. But our main rule of the relationship was to always record it so that we could still feel like we were there, you know? So yeah, we put all like a lot of different boundaries to make sure everything goes smoothly, and it helps again with the communication.
Okay, that's I had a burp. That's like super cool. So I think one of the most asked questions is like, how do you not get jealous? Just, you know.
Well, like for me, I need to feel like the number one queen, and then everyone else he's fucking is like, I know this sounds bad, but like they're like the little peasants that are there just for one need, which is to get off and have a good experience. So that's the way I looked at things. So as long as my love cup is filled, that's what I would tell him. Like, if you're giving me kisses, words of affirmation, hugs, and everything. And once I'm like, okay, I'm good with like what you're giving me, then you can go and go do something with someone else. And that has helped me not get as jealous. As like I honestly just had to communicate. The way to get over jealousy is communicating what you're feeling and never disregard people's feelings, because in their body and their brain, it's real to them. Even if you don't see what they're seeing, it's still fucking there. So you got to work with that feeling and understand like, oh, why do you get that feeling? What can I do so that feeling doesn't happen again? So there was another time we were doing a foursome with another couple, and the girl was a petite Latina, super cute. And he was like, when he was fucking her, he was saying some stuff that he would never say to me. And that got me jealous. I was like, what the fuck? Like, he's like saying all this like dirty shit. And I'm like, why don't you say that shit to me? And I was like, and it made me feel like sad. But I communicated that to him. I'm like, hey, like, I really like enjoyed watching you, but you were saying some things that you never said to me. So I would really like it if you were more like vocal with me when we're having sex, so that I can get that same type of attention that you were giving her. And he was totally understanding of my feelings, and he fixed it. And like I haven't had an issue with jealousy since, honestly.
That's amazing, because something like I am just learning to do personally is learning how to set boundaries. And
that is key. Boundaries are key.
So would you recommend someone to start swinging before they feel comfortable setting their boundaries, or would you encourage them to like work on themselves before they do that, so like they can feel confident?
Hell yeah. I mean, you could do what I did, where I kind of just dived into it and I learned. But if you are strong, like I think it's better to go into a swinging relationship knowing what you like, knowing what you want, and being able to set those boundaries. Because I feel like with these kind of open relationships, if you don't have two people that are on the same page and that have the same type of mindset, it's not going to work. So you want to come into it like knowing what you're okay with, and also letting the other person know what your boundaries are.
And I mean, at least with OnlyFans, I feel like my boundaries have changed so much. I was like, I'm never selling nudes. 1 week later, tits are out. A month later, my vagina was out. So like, how did boundaries change with swinging as well? If there are, I don't know, because it's a different space that I have never been involved with.
I kind of just like dove into it, but a lot of couples they start off with something called soft swap. So soft swap is where like the girl, like, I mean, it means different for everyone. But in my understanding from what I've seen, mostly soft swap is like the girls are kissing, the girls are playing, but the guys only stay with their partners. And they like fuck next to each other, and that's like a soft swap. And then there's something called a hard swap where you do everything, where partners exchange. So like you can fuck the other guy, the girl can fuck my man. And those are like the main boundaries, I guess, in swinging. But before any meet, we always chat with the couple or chat with the people that are going to be involved and letting them know, like, hey, I'm okay with, like, choking, with spanking, but I'm not okay with anal. I'm not okay with you eating me out. And you just kind of, like, lay it all out there so that they know.
Okay, got it. Is that your boundary? Do you not do anal?
No, my butthole's way too tight. I've tried. I've literally tried. And, like, the guys my partner would always bring were always so girthy that I'm like, no, we're not putting anything up there.
What do you, like, know they're girthy beforehand, being like, I want you to take this big dick?
Yeah, always super important for me. When my husband was finding guys, I needed to see their dicks. I needed 3 different angles, top, side, bottom. I needed to see, like, how it is, because I personally can't take curved dicks.
Really?
Curved dicks, like, if they're curved, like, this way, cool. If they're curved this way, cool. But if they're, like, to the side, like, they come out to the side, I can't handle that.
Interesting.
It hurts, it hurts my uterus. So I always told him, like, it has to be, like, at least 7 inches. It needs to be at least, like, 3 fingers girth. So he was always good. By the end of, like, once we were, like, veterans together, he already knew what I wanted. So it was great. Yeah.
Okay, look at that. I can't do anal either, but it's because, like, even butt plugs are just a lot.
You know what? I don't know if you've ever tried this, but a vibrating butt plug helps you loosen up. So if you get like a tiny little vibrating one, put that in there before you do anal, and you can take it a lot easier.
Interesting. I'm good with the anal beads. Anal beads slide right up in there, but it's like the butt plugs, like, that make me feel like I'm gonna die.
Try a vibrating one and just go slow.
Okay.
And I think you'll really like it. And plus, guys love it when you have a vibrating butt plug in you and while they're fucking you, because they feel the vibration inside.
Oh, so like a little tiny one. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have to, like, it could be like this thin. Like, you can find really thin ones.
I can do like a really tiny ones, but sometimes my butt just shoots them right back out. So I don't know how to make them stick.
So when you look at butt plugs, you get like the girth, and then right at the end where like the stem is, you look at the stem. You can get a really, really thin stem, and that should stay in your butt a lot better.
Okay, fuck yeah, look at that. Mm-hmm. So you gave me my first orgy experience, and it was with all girls, which I would honestly, I know I asked you, girls or guys, I would prefer it with all girls because I feel like girls are a safe space.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't, with girls just love to have fun. You know what I mean?
I've been getting more turned on recently by girls than guys, and I couldn't tell you what it is. It's just like they're so beautiful, and I feel
beautiful, and we're more open. Like, one of my biggest dreams is to like have a threesome with a bisexual guy. Because girls, they'll go both ways, you know? Like, even if they know they like dick and they know that they're gonna be with a guy, like, girls still like to fool around. They still like to lick nipples and shit. So
yeah,
that's what I love about females. They're just so sexually open.
And so like the orgy, I was very, very excited to do it. I think I got a little bit of stage fright. Like, I couldn't actually come because I'm like, well, there's like 15 girls in this room and everyone's watching.
We were like put on a pedestal. Like, the bed was like on an elevated platform, and all of us were like, it was kind of like it's like a little ritual with people just watching around us, and all of us fucking on the bed.
So what Pati did that was pretty cool was, like, before we like had the orgy, we played like a little game to like get really comfortable around each other, because like otherwise it would just be kind of awkward and frigid.
Yeah, like, I feel like if we really wanted to have fun and take advantage of the situation, you need to break the ice somehow. And I'm happy, especially with that dice game, it got the girls involved that don't do crazy stuff on OnlyFans, but they do like more soft core stuff. So I was happy we could have involved them as well in the whole situation.
Yeah, it was super fun. So like before we got into it, she was like, girls who are fine with everything on the bed, girls who aren't, like, go around the bed, and she's like, make out with us. But a lot of the girls were nervous and didn't make out with us.
I know.
Tonight, because there's another one tonight.
Yes, we're doing round 2 because there were some girls that missed the first one. And
because we did do it very late. Like, we just need to get girls fucked up earlier so, like, we can also go to bed at, like, a decent bedtime.
Yeah, and I want to do it better this time. I want to get more involved, and I finally actually charged all my toys last night, so I want to come with all my toys charged. I fucked up the first time.
So something that I personally felt, and this is something like you're personally experienced with, but just that it is a little intimidating, and like part of me didn't know what to do at certain times because I'm like, well, I want to be doing this, but then there's a girl in the way, and I started overthinking a little bit, being like, well, I don't look sexy kind of thing.
Yeah, so I think it's just we only had that one space and that one bed, and it was kind of hard to maneuver. I feel like if we were in like maybe the living room where it's easier to maneuver from like girl to girl, I think we should definitely do it in the living room like tonight or something, just so it's easier to like go up to a girl and do something with them. And you just gotta fucking go for it. Even if you don't think you look good, guys just want to see you have fun. Like, they don't look at, like, how your, like, body looks. They just want to see you do some fucking dirty shit. At the end of the day, like, I mean, they want to see you fuck a girl, so just go fuck a girl.
Go fuck a girl. Like, Nala and Keep were like, ooh, they were like role models.
Yeah. Oh, man.
My, like, life coach, who I've also interviewed, she told me to, like, when someone has a trait that I'm, like, looking for, to, like, envision myself, like, stepping into their body and, like, trying to get that trait. And I'm like, their confidence and their sexuality, I've been, like, visualizing that a lot because it's, like, I want to feel that confident.
Hell
like,
yeah.
I'm just slapping you on the bed, kind of, like, that I don't need to be drunk for.
I mean, are you a dominant or a submissive?
I'm usually submissive. Okay. Like, I want them to be, like, hitting me and throwing me against the wall kind of thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, you just gotta find someone that will match that kind of vibe. Like, because me personally, I'm a submissive, too. Like, I want someone to, like, choke me and take advantage of me, full advantage. I'm totally okay with that. Yeah. In a sexual setting, of course, but that's just my type of vibe. Like, when we were doing it, I wanted to be more dominant because I felt like I was leading the orgy, but that was tough for me.
Okay, so it has to do with like being dominant or submissive kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
How interesting. Okay.
Because like Nala, she's super dominant. Like she was like choking, throwing down, like putting it. I was like, yo, girl, I fucking love it. But
it's like, so great. I can only get like that if I'm really drunk and like I don't think they're being dominant enough with me, but I stopped drinking. So I'm like, where is that
fun? Man, but I must say I love organizing shit like that.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I love it. Like I love bringing like so many of those girls, that was their first like orgy experience, and I love knowing that I was a part of that.
Yeah.
I just love teaching people about being sexually free, sexually open. Because I feel like, I don't know if you can resonate with this, but OnlyFans has made me so much more confident in myself.
Same.
And being even a swinger has made me so much more confident in myself. Like, being sexually okay and knowing what you want, it radiates to other parts of my life. You know what I mean? I don't know if you get that vibe from your OnlyFans, but once I started like doing like crazy gangbangs and being able to handle like all these guys, like I feel like I can handle anything.
Yeah.
Literally.
I will say like my OnlyFans, like I used to not even like feel confident taking like nude videos unless it was on my tits because they're fake and my tits, you know, it's hard to get a bad video of them. But other videos, it like I was so insecure about them. And then OnlyFans, I started being, I can like literally get off to myself now, like my own videos. And I think OnlyFans has done that. And then I think I started getting a little more confident and more in tune with myself now that like, I mean, most of my content, like, or most of the girl on girl stuff I do is like for content, but it like brings me so much joy inside because I don't even know if I want to take dick without filming it. So, you know.
I feel you on that one.
So OnlyFans just makes you like so much more, and society wants to suppress your sexuality and tell you that it's not okay. So like being able to find that and like think for yourself and be your own person, I think is very empowering.
I literally can't be around people that are judgmental anymore. Like, if I was hanging out with this one guy and we came across a YouTube video of this like guy that loves feet. And he just got so uncomfortable, started hating on this guy for liking feet. And I'm like, I can't vibe with you anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you being so sexually closed off and not understanding of other people's turn-ons is a total turn-off for me. I love surrounding myself with, like, people that are like-minded. That's why I love swinging, because it's a huge community. All these people are fucking horny motherfuckers, freaky as hell. And that's just why I was really, really happy to be a part of something like that. And it's also same with OnlyFans. Like, being a part of this whole house with all these girls, like, that's my people. These are the people that understand what I do, and I can vibe with that.
I truly think the OnlyFans community, like, these have become like some of my best friends. And like, it's hard for me to meet a lot of girls when I'm out now that like don't necessarily do OnlyFans, because like they're not as understanding, or it's like they're just living their life for other people, and it's hard for me to like bond with people who are just living so differently, I guess. Not that I'm being judgmental of their life, but it's also like, you know, there's not that connection where you can like here we're flashing our tits, flashing our vagina, walking around naked. It's like so freeing.
Exactly. We can be in our natural self, and that's amazing. And also I find like it's hard to be friends with like the regular people, because our lives are so different. Our schedules are so different. Like my friend Sammy, she's seeing a guy right now. Sammy has the ability to go travel anywhere at any time, doesn't have a 9-to-5, but she's seeing this guy who literally has a 9-to-5 and barely has time for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I go to like hang out with my friends, I have one friend that does 9-to-5, but then everyone else is an influencer. So it's easier to hang out with friends that don't have to be at a job every day or have like responsibilities in that sense.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. A lot of people have normal jobs.
I know, and
they can't do anything.
Like, I want to go on a trip this weekend. Let's fucking go. And they're like, no, I got work. I'm like, you fucking boring motherfucker. Like, I'm just trying to live my life. This is the time to live my life. I'm 25 years old. Like, this is the time before I get settled down with kids and whatnot.
So what is your favorite swinging moment that you've had?
My favorite swinging moment. So I have two. One of which was a gangbang that my partner set up. And I told him I wanted to be the only girl getting dick. Because most of the gangbangs, when there's a lot of guys, like, we need at least 1 or 2 girls. Or 2 to 3 girls, just so the guys can consistently stay hard and there's something going on for everyone. But I wanted to do one where it's just me. I wanted to be the center of attention. I had 5 guys to myself, and then at the time I brought my best friend to be like a fluffer. So she was in the corner like sucking the dicks, get them hard for me, and then they would come and fuck me, and there was just like a rotation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it was amazing having all of that attention on me, all these guys getting off to me. Like, that is such a huge turn on. And then another experience was, I called it the hot wife orgy. It was for like hot wives and for like big black guys. And then their husbands were on the like around on the side watching it all go down.
Oh my God.
And just hearing all the girls screaming and moaning, and like being able to look to my right, there's something there, look to my left, there's something there. It was just like an overwhelming, but in a good overwhelming way, like of all this shit going on. And I still like look at the smile on my face as I'm talking about it. I'm like literally looking back. I'm like, that was fucking bomb.
Do you think to swing you need to find like a lot of different kinds of people attractive, or like can you be picky and swing still?
It's tough. It is so tough. Like when me and my partner were looking for like foursome, like other couples to do foursomes with, like there were so many times where the girl was so hot, but the guy had like a dad bod and wasn't cute at all.
Yeah.
Like finding couples was extremely hard. And there's not a lot of like, unfortunately, there's not a lot of young people in the swinging community, not yet. I'm hoping to change that with like getting my friends into it, talking about it more from like a younger person's perspective. So that's another toughie to deal with.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like my type in men is like tall and skinny, and I'm like not really attracted to men otherwise. But like my type with girls is a lot more fluid.
Same here. Like with guys, like I needed like, they didn't have to be like 6-pack abs, but they can't have a belly. Like they need to have a good dick. Like there were so many different criterias that needed to be checked off for me compared to my partner who all he needed was a big butt. Like especially in Miami, it was so easy to find for him.
How do you say, or how would you recommend like people find your type then? Like does it take a lot of effort, or
you gotta do a lot of searching. Like just like when you fucking go on Tinder and you're looking for a guy to go on a date and you just keep swiping and you gotta go through all the bullshit before you find that one gem. Same thing with swinging. Some apps that I do recommend for swinging, definitely Tinder. There's always couples looking to do shit on Tinder.
I used to think that couples were faking it on Tinder to be like a guy trying to corner me and fuck me.
I mean, you just gotta verify. Like even just getting their number and FaceTiming them really quick is really, really key. There's also one website that we used, like pretty much the most out of all the websites out there, is SDC.com, which stands for Swinger Dating Club. And it's pretty much a Facebook for swingers. So you have your own profile, you have your pictures, you can even link like videos of the shit you've done. It also gives you like what you're okay with, what are your limits, are you soft swap or hard swap? Like literally it's just a whole profile of what you do as a swinger. So we would always go on there and just search through couples and couples and couples.
Wow, okay. It's a process.
Yeah, it's luckily I never had to do any of that. My partner was always the one on top of it, which is great. So I honestly just had to like approve who I'm doing it with and just show up.
Okay, got it. So do you do, I think I already know the answer, but like you do orgies for yourself and for OnlyFans, correct?
Yes.
And then is it like a requirement now when you like do swinging with couples or orgies with couples to film it so that you can get paid?
It depends. Like it depends on if like what the vibe is. Like I will search out couples specifically for OnlyFans, but if I'm like, for example, I was at dinner with one of my friends and she's like, this guy I'm seeing really wants to fuck you. And this was like nothing to do with OnlyFans. And I'm like show me his dick. I need to see his dick. She shows me his dick and I'm like, yep, I can take that. Let's go.
Oh.
And like we just had a threesome for fun. Like I love doing the fun stuff. Because when you're recording, like you're thinking of all the things you need to do in that video so it like looks bomb. But when there's like no cameras in your hand, you can just kind of go with the flow and really enjoy what you're doing. So I do both. I have to do both for my sanity.
Yeah. Gotta do both for your sanity. So how is it swinging with a partner versus swinging alone?
So I love it with a partner because I love sharing that experience with someone and like looking to them and seeing them like enjoy what's happening makes me feel even better, makes me feel even turned on. Versus like when I go alone. So I've been doing a lot of threesomes with couples lately, and that you have to tread lightly with that. Especially if there are like a dating couple, like you have to make sure to not overstep your boundaries, especially if it's like a girl that I've done like so many firsts with couples. So like when it's when I'm with my partner, I'm more free, and they know that I'm taken. So like I'll be like with their guy, and they know that my man is right there and nothing's gonna happen. But if I'm doing a threesome by myself with a girl, like I make sure to focus on her most of the time. Like I rather her have the best experience of her life, so that doesn't ruin it for them, than me get off and like be selfish with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just a different, like I know with my partner I can get off, do whatever I want, and have a great time. But when I'm doing like threesomes, I make sure to make the girl feel comfortable and kind of like take her like lead. So if she wants me to suck her man's dick, she'll like be like, come suck my man's dick. And I'll be like, okay, I'm letting her be in control and let her feel comfortable with the situation.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. So do you get off with like girls like getting off, or do you get off like with guys? Like,
I just love people be sexually open.
Uh-huh.
Like, if it was me, like, maybe tonight, I just want to fucking watch the orgy and be a creep and, like, get off and watch for a little bit, because that's what I like to do. Like, I've started watching porn at a young age, and I just love it. I love that O face that girls get. I love seeing their eyes light up when they're, you know, getting stimulated or whatnot.
Yeah, it's really funny because I just found this out, which I feel like it should have been common knowledge. But I'm like, what's so great about like watching me with the vibrator when it's like it's kind of in the same place for a while, and it's the facial expressions that like get people, because like you can tell I'm like enjoying myself.
Exactly.
But what's funny is like I can't be super loud when I'm by myself. But, like, when I'm, like, really turned on by a guy, I'm, like, yelling. And I don't know why.
I love it. Because you're expressing, you're letting it out. Like, you're not holding back.
True. I feel like when it's just me, it's, like, I kind of scare my dog when I'm like, yes! And Wubs is, like,
what are you doing?
like, looking around, and then she sees my vibrator and, like, runs to the other room.
It's funny because, like, my dog, whenever, like, me and my partner would start like fucking or whatever, I start sucking his dick, he already automatically knew to get off the bed and like get into his like little cage.
Yeah.
He already knew. He's like, oh, they're fucking. Let me go and watch in the corner. It's fucking weird when the dogs watch, I swear.
Yeah.
It's like they know what's happening. They definitely know what's happening.
Oh my God. Well, Wubs like hides in the closet when I fuck because like I like it rough. And I like it to like I like it when I have bruises like on my body from like that's how I get the most turned on.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah. But then Wubs is like, and this is how I know if I was ever about to be murdered or killed. She would do nothing because she hides in the fucking closet like the bitch she is.
Yeah, can't depend on her.
So I know that we had briefly talked about your ketamine treatments because there was a era in your life where you were just depressed, especially after being injured and not being able to like find a purpose.
So when I got injured, I took a year off school because I didn't know where I was going with my life. And recently, like I had another really bad depression. Like I always had anxiety. It's like a genetic thing with me.
Yeah.
And I tried, when was it? So I went through like a little depression from December until February. I was on antidepressants. I was on anti-anxiety medication, and I felt like a zombie. Like I even stopped recording stuff for OnlyFans. I didn't have that motivation. And it was weird because I'm like, I'm on these antidepressants. They should be working. Why aren't they working? But it's actually very common where majority of people, like the antidepressants don't work on them. You have to go through like 3 or 4 different kinds to find what works. And if it does work, it only works for a couple months until your brain gets used to the chemical that you're feeding it.
Oh, interesting.
So a lot of people keep having to change, and then changing your antidepressants means you're dealing with different side effects, and I would get the worst side effects. So then I decided to do ketamine treatments, and I knew about the treatments because my family opened up the very first ketamine clinic in Canada. My brother was working with a very, very well-known psychiatrist, and they were saying that the people that were coming to them were like end stage like depression where they had literally no other options to the point where they wanted to commit suicide because nothing was working.
Yeah.
And people would go through these treatments and come out after one treatment. I mean, like a cycle. So one treatment is a 3-week cycle where you go twice a week. And they noticed 75% of people that did the treatment came out okay. Like they came out feeling so much better. They didn't have the suicidal thoughts anymore. Like it's a life-saving treatment. So I did it for the first time in April, and it changed my life.
So do you do it as like a party setting, or do you do it as like a therapeutic setting?
Oh, no, it's like the place that I go to, it's a little office. They make it feel like it's a spa type environment. I'm in literally a chair like this that reclines, and they give me something to put over my eyes, and I put my music in, and it goes through my IV into my vein. And I'm just laying there with my eyes closed, and I just feel my body floating. Like this is what I feel. This little movement here, and I come out.
For those listening, it was like a little wave of an arm.
Oh like. Yeah, sorry. Literally like a wave. Oh, sorry. Waving. And feeling like I was coming out of my body type. It was the best trip ever, honestly. And then after the treatment, I did all of April. And I'm no longer on any antidepressants, no more pills, no side effects. I feel like a brand new woman. I'm even more confident. I'm more creative. I'm happier. And it's honestly showing in my work. Like I'm doing all this new crazy stuff, stepping out of my comfort zone, doing things alone. Because it used to be just me and my partner doing stuff on OnlyFans. But now I'm like, yo, I'm going to do my own orgies. Like I hosted an orgy last night or 2 nights ago. So it's a huge improvement in my life. And I'm telling anyone who's sick and tired of taking antidepressants and being bound to a fucking pill, do ketamine. Like, it's a life-changing experience.
I would say do ketamine in a controlled setting, because if you try it in a party setting, it's not.
No,
it doesn't have the therapeutic.
you need to do it with a treatment center, a clinic, a doctor, like, because it's so easy to get into something called a K-hole when they do it in a party setting. You don't know how much you can take. People take too much and start freaking out, and it's a scary feeling.
Yeah.
So I don't recommend the party version, but I do recommend doing it with a doctor, because they weigh you. They start off on a really low dose, and then every time you come back, they up the dose just to see where you're comfortable with, and it's very safe. So 100% do it in a controlled setting.
My hypnotherapist is doing ketamine treatments with like at a facility while he's like doing hypnosis on people while they're in their ketamine treatment.
Yeah, so they actually did recommend doing therapies during the treatments, because the whole reason, like, ketamine opens up different pathways in your brain. So our brains like going through like consistency. It's easier for us to do like going through what's the word, like a routine or whatever.
Yeah.
So when you fall into a depression or have really bad anxiety, like you're taking that one pathway which is triggering your anxiety. So ketamine opens up your brain and gives you different pathways to think and make decision making and handling situations better. Like now I don't automatically go and freeze up in situations where my anxiety is high. Like I'm easy. It's better for me to get out of it. Like I remember having crying spells that would last 20 to 30 minutes, and I would be uncontrollably crying, dry heaving. But now with these ketamine treatments, I cry and I feel those feelings, but it only lasts me 2 to 5 minutes. And I feel like, okay, I can regain that control. I'm not spiraling out, and I love it, man. I'm telling everyone to fucking do it, because it changed my life. And it's not only for depression, not only for anxiety, it also helps with bipolar disorder. It also is great for pain management. If you have like aches and pains, like arthritis, it helps for that.
Interesting.
There's so many different things that ketamine can help you with that is just fucking, it should be a known practice all over the fucking world.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know about it. Doctors don't talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, my theory is that, like, you know, the U.S. wants to push what makes money, and what makes money is putting people on stuff that they then become hooked to and not dealing with the root of the issues. So if there's something that can deal with the root of the issues and help with your trauma and, like, make you better, they make it illegal because that doesn't make money.
No, and that's bullshit. Like, you're fucking with people's lives. And, like, you give them one pill to like, fix one symptom. But it creates so many other problems. Like, you know, when you see those drug commercials, they're like, the warnings at the end of the commercial is like fucking a minute long. Like, you may experience bleeding, depression, suicidal thoughts, this, that. Like, then you have to take even more pills to combat those symptoms. And it's like an ongoing cycle.
Definitely.
And that's bullshit.
It is bullshit. I'm, like, a big advocate of, like, mushrooms as well. Ketamine I haven't tried in a controlled setting, so that's definitely something I'm open to doing.
Yeah,
and, like, definitely open. I want, like, an ayahuasca experience, even though those are a little scary.
Yeah, that's a little too much for me. Maybe one day I'll get there.
Yeah.
I definitely want to try shrooms though. Like,
Oh, you never tried them?
Never.
Wait, when do you leave?
I leave on Monday.
Okay, cool, because I have 10 little gummies coming here tomorrow.
Bro!
They're out of chips. Yeah.
Yes, I've been wanting to do shrooms for the last 3 months, and I just never, like, worked out.
Yeah, I think we're all gonna have, like, a fun little trip. I mean, I personally have, like, I like to go to bed early.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping the earlier the better, and we can all make content with it before it gets dark.
If I could have some, I would love you
I
forever.
got like 10 baggies, 4 grams each. So yeah.
I'm excited. Shit's about to get wild tomorrow, guys.
Oh, shit's about
my
to get
God.
crazy because I have been sober this whole time.
No way.
And I mean, because I don't drink, and I'm like, I've been saving the mushrooms I do have because I'm going to a concert on Saturday. So I'm like, all right, gotta save it up. But then I just bought more, so I can actually
Have
I feel like
fun.
bond with everyone and have that experience.
Yeah,
and
you've been working so hard, girl.
yeah, let's do it. Well, just to wrap things up, do you have any final thoughts, and then plug yourself after?
I'm just gonna say that the viewers for today, literally start exploring your sexuality, start exploring yourself, because at the end of the day, once you get to know all aspects of yourself, you're gonna just feel better in every way possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm Patti K. On Instagram is Patricia K. My OnlyFans is It's Patti K. And you can find all the fun stuff there.
Woo! My Instagram is What Is The Deals? Backup, Deals, and Dubstep. Backup to that backup, because I seem to have problems with my Instagram.
Same.
Is What's The Deals with 2 Z's. OnlyFans.com/daddydeals. I have so many different names. And then you can find this podcast on OnlyFans.com/DJDeals. And please subscribe, like, do whatever.
Yay!
Thank you so much for listening. Hope we
Thank
offended
you.
someone today.